Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So I have gone and updated all of our characters' bars here so that we're all updated. We have Woljeff back in the party ready to level up, so I think we should do that. Although before we do, let me just point out this ability here, Enforcing Gaze. The DC of saving throws against all spells your allies cast is increased by 1 plus 1 per 3 Mythic ranks. The DC of saving throws against all spells and spell-like abilities cast by your enemies who fail their saving throw is reduced by the same amount. Once activated, this ability lasts until the combat ends, at which point all of the bonuses immediately disappear. Enemies can try and make a will saving throw to resist this effect, receiving a -2 penalty on the throw if they have the chaotic alignment. This is an ability which was previously not on our bars, because we simply ran out of space. It just didn't put it on there because, I mean, we'd actually filled every single slot. So now we have a couple slots open, and I've gone and found it, so we put it there. I also rearranged our main bar so that anything that we use only in combat is at the bottom. So, like, if it's a reactive thing, so Divine Favor, it's only a minute long, probably only going to activate it in combat, same with True Strike and all of these other ones, like this is a swift action. There's really no reason we shouldn't be casting that if we have an opportunity, so it's just that kind of thing. On top of that, I've gone and redone some others. I put Demoralize on Seela's bar because it is actually quite useful, and then I realised, wait a second, if it's a Persuasion check versus Intimidation, I should really put that on Darren's bar as well, because there are some turns where we just don't know what to do on him, and actually it'd be a lot more useful for him to apply a debuff than just take a random crossbow shot a lot of the time. So we got that there. I also put some of these other ones here so I actually use them. Arushale, not really a lot to say here, but moved around some things so I actually know what they're doing. Like, these are pre-combat buffs, these are combat buffs, and then these are things that I should be using if I can occasionally. Like, this one's just a move action where I can share my, I can share the bonus for favored enemy, which seems pretty good if we can get that going. We've got Soasil all set up here. I have noticed we never actually end up using Bull's Strength a lot of the time, so what I'm thinking is we might switch that spell out for something, that we might use. But apart from that, everything else seems to make a lot of sense. And then Woljeff, well, I left him as he was, because actually it's fairly well organised, and we're about to completely change it. But I did go into all of his scrolls and taught him every spell known to man, so hopefully he's pretty good now. Right, let me see what our options are instead of this, Bull Strength. Yeah, because we don't need that anymore, because that's just, we're never using it. We can get Charisma bonus for Eagle Splendor, which we could give to somebody. Anything else seem like very good? Owl's Wisdom as well. What does he work off of? He works off of Wisdom, right? Yeah, it's Wisdom for his spells. So why don't I give him the Wisdom buff? That makes sense. Yeah. It's level 2, right? Yeah, level 2. We'll give him the Wisdom buff. Still a self buff, but it's something that we might actually use right now. Because I don't feel like we're going to remove Darren from the party anytime soon. Right. Time to level up Woljeff. Now, Woljeff, if you have forgotten, is purely sitting in the... he's purely sitting in the Rogue Eldritch Scoundrel class. We haven't really got any multi-classing in mind for him. And when I was looking at this, I was like, okay, if we want to multi-class Woljeff, where do we want to multi-class him, right? Just as a thought experiment. Like, would we multi-class him at 8? Would we multi-class him at 9? All that sort of stuff. So I was thinking, realistically, at the very least, you don't want to multi-class him until level 10. Because at level 10, he gets advanced talents, which are probably, at least 1 or 2 of them are pretty good. And then I was like, well, if you got all the way to level 10, you should probably go to level 11 at least, because then you get finesse training for another weapon. Which means instead of just having finesse training on a dagger, which is kind of low, we could, for instance, get finesse training on a short sword. Like, for instance, this short sword that I gave him here, which is the one that bypasses any type of damage reduction. That would be incredible. I mean, already it's doing high damage. If you then give it the ability to scale off his dex instead of his strength, you're looking at another 6 damage as a base, so that would be doing 11 to 21, which is pretty sweet given that it ignores all damage reduction, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. The other option, though, for him is that we switch it round, and instead of caring about this, we instead use the Mythic feat that we get to give him a Weapon Finesse Mythic, which would then mean that effectively he doesn't, we don't need to pick a weapon, which would then make his level 11 bad for him, because it would be saying, okay, he's getting finesse training on this weapon, but it literally doesn't matter because he already has finesse training on every weapon, in effect. Which would mean that we'd want to reclass him at 11 instead, because at 10, you get your level 4 spells, and you get advanced talents. So, I'm kind of thinking that if we can find a multi-class that makes sense for level 11, then we should work towards it now. And we got a couple of levels to work with, which is why I think it's worth going through it, because, well, it's a time where we can make some decisions with feats and make some decisions with skills if we need to. But anyway, let's have a look and see what we got on offer. So, the obvious kind of ones for him, he's already got access to Arcane Trickster, interestingly, because he has mobility, he has sneak attack, he has trickery, he has the ability to cast arcane spells, so Arcane Trickster is not the most stupid one to give him. Now, the problem with Arcane Trickster is the base attack bonus is pretty low, but he gets different sneak attack ones, which allows him to improvise sneak attacks, and then all the way down to surprise spells, which I think allows him to do it on any spell as long as the targets are flat-footed, so including things like AoE spells, which would be pretty sweet. So we could try that. Arcane Trickster isn't necessarily the worst option in the world. It also gives him ranged trickery, which is actually kind of useful to get past some traps. And then he keeps his spell casting from his previous class. So, yeah, a lot of this is potentially good. He still gets his sneak attack. Seems all fine. What's impromptu? Let me just double read it, or read through it again. They can enter a special stance that allows them to improvise ways to sneak attack targets regardless of their awareness. And the Arcane Trickster can maintain this stance for 1 round per day. For every 2 levels beyond the 3rd, an Arcane Trickster can maintain this stance for an additional round up to a maximum of 4 rounds at 9th level. The target of an impromptu sneak attack loses any dexterity bonus to AC, but only against those attacks. This power can be used against any target, but creatures that are not subject to critical hits take no extra damage, although they still lose any dexterity bonus to AC against the attack. So I guess what you could do is you could do an impromptu sneak attack followed by your surprise spell, and suddenly you're chucking a fireball that does sneak attack damage, which is pretty sweet. I kind of like that. We could go this path for him. The other path, which has been suggested before, is that you switch him into something like Eldritch Knight. Now, all he needs for this is martial weapons proficiency, which we could easily get at level 9. And the bonus of this one over that is you still keep your arcane spellcasting, which is nice. You get more combat feats. What's this? An Eldritch Knight may add his level to any levels of fighter he may have for the purposes of meeting prerequisites for feats. If he has no fighter levels, then the Eldritch Knight level are treated as levels of fighter. It also adds his level to any levels in Arcane Spellcasting class for the purposes of meeting prerequisites of feats. Okay, so he's basically his Eldritch class can go into both his Arcane class and a fighter class if we needed to. Arcane Spellcaster is fine, and then you see the base attack bonus is actually pretty high with an Eldritch Knight, which means that you're actually doing a lot more damage in melee. And on top of that, you get spell critical at 10th level, so whenever you confirm a critical hit, the next spell you cast within the next 2 rounds will be cast as a swift action as if quickened. So you stab somebody, get a crit, chuck out a quick spell. Like, even if it's like a touch spell, that could be really cool, and that would work quite well for him. So both of these are not bad options. Is there anything else? Just as a curiosity thing, is there anything else? Lore Master, he could take it, probably not his thing, I would imagine. Aldori Swordsman, just way too many bits that we're missing, and also we don't want to do it. Student of War, again, not really his thing. Duelist, we would only need dodge and base attack bonus and weapon mobility. What's this get him? So this gets, he doesn't keep up his magic is the problem with Duelist, I think. Yeah, that is the Duelist problem. We'll move on from that then. This one, he doesn't have divine spells. Yeah, he can't be a Hell Knight of any kind because he's got the wrong alignment. And that one's bad. This one, he would only need a single point in Arcane, but he would also need to be able to spontaneously cast, which would mean that we need to make him a, like some kind of sorcerer type or something as well, which isn't ideal. Eldritch Knight is the one we just looked at. Paladin, nope. Assassin, can't do it, he's the wrong types. Same with Monk. Hell Knight again out, and Winter Witch out. So it's basically, do we want to be Eldritch Knight, or do we want to be Arcane Trickster, or do we want to stick with Eldritch Scoundrel, which is of course the other option. We could just stay in Eldritch Scoundrel, which gets us all the way, we could go all the way up to Master Strike, which then gives them a chance of instant killing enemies, which is kind of intriguing. We would also get the Danger Sense upgrade as we go through here. We'd get more of these rogue talents, and we get more finesse training on weapons. I mean, this is not necessarily the worst option. Just because it's the most boring option doesn't mean it's the worst option here, to just stick with this one. Going into one of the prestige classes does sound neat, though. I don't know. I quite like the idea of trying Arcane Trickster. The only problem is the base attack bonus, which is gonna be low, which means that his melee skills are gonna be quite weak. I mean, I also want him to be a melee, so I guess with that being the case, I want him to be an Eldritch Knight. Let's go Eldritch Knight at level 11. So at level 11, we're going to be an Eldritch Knight, which means at level 9 we have to take Martial Weapon Proficiency. Cool. I've made a decision, and we'll go with it. Unless I forget about it between this time and the next time. Alright, so an extra dex bonus seems the obvious choice for him here, especially as I don't believe he wears armor, so yeah, just increasing the dex up would make him a little bit tankier. Here, well, we don't need to choose any specific skills, so we'll just go with that. He doesn't need this at all. You know, he's far outclassed on that one. So the question is, do we want Perception or use Magic Device? I think we should really just focus on one of them for just now. Let's go Perception. Let's level it up, and then we can have the use Magic Device as like a backup after he's already got this up to the rank of the other ones. Yeah, that seems good. Rogue Talent. So, he doesn't get Advanced Talents right now, but let's see. Weapon Focus we could give him. Okay. We don't necessarily need that. He doesn't only use one type of weapon, which is kind of the problem there with that one. Whenever they make a Perception check, they gain a +4 bonus. And that's okay, but not insane. We give him a Combat Trick, which is an extra bonus feat. Okay, Fast Stealth we're not really worried about. Whenever the character is confused and hits a creature with a melee attack that does sneak attack damage, the character is no longer confused. That's intriguing. So if he hits somebody and he is confused, he would no longer be confused after he does a melee attack that deals sneak attack. That would have been really useful against the Swarm. I don't know how useful it's going to be going forward. Same with Shaken and Sickened, actually. Interesting. Iron Guts. +1 on saves against poisons, as well +4 on saves against all spells and effects because the character to be nauseated or sickened. I believe that our delayed poison buff should be getting rid of a lot of the issues we have with poisons anyway, so we can ignore that. Jump Up. A rogue with this talent does not provoke attacks of opportunity when standing up from prone. It's surprisingly simple, but actually this one could be quite useful, especially, you know, they get knocked down so he's negative HP, we heal with Dare and he can then jump up and get another stab. That's not that bad. Arcane Knowledge Arcana to list of class skills. I think it might already be a class skill, and it's already one we're not going to take. Skill Focus. Okay. Gains a bonus on saving throws against mind affecting conditions equal to a dexterity modifier. So a +7 on saves against mind affecting conditions is really nice. Slow Reactions. Opponents damaged by this character's sneak attacks can't make attacks of opportunity for 1 round. Okay, that's pretty nice. Lower Nature, don't need. We can gain Favored Terrain. It's very specific. Immunity to difficult terrain, not really worried about. We gain Trip as a bonus feat. What is Trip? We can perform the combat maneuver Trip. It also grants a +2 to CMB when performing a maneuver and a +2 bonus to CMD when defending against it. You can attempt to trip your opponent in place of a melee attack. If a combat maneuver is successful, the target is knocked prone. If the target has more than one leg, add +2 to the DC of the combat maneuver attack roll for each additional leg it has. Okay, and some things can't be tripped. I don't think we need that. Uncanny Dodge. Cannot be caught flat-footed. Nor does she lose her dexterity bonus to AC if the attacker is invisible. Still loses dex bonus if immobilized. A character with this ability can lose dex bonus to AC if an opponent successfully uses the feint action against her. If you already gain uncanny dodge from a different class, you automatically gain improved canny dodge instead. Okay. I mean, that's kind of good. You can select a dirty trick. What is a dirty trick? Hinder a foe as a melee action. Okay. And then intimidating prowess isn't really his thing. From these, the ones that were jumping up at me were things like jump up. I think jump up is really good. I also think that slippery mind is really good. I'm going to take slippery mind. I think that will come in very useful. Having a character that can't be affected by mind affecting conditions is incredibly good. And in our party, we're actually starting to get quite a few that are resistant, which might help us against fights later on in the game. If something's kind of doing domination or something against us, then all we go is we get a good roll and we ignore it. I think that works quite well. Like things like charm, we can just completely ignore. Alright, level 2 spells. Also, we have some spells up here that we just simply cannot use, but because they're level 6, but we'll be able to use them eventually, no doubt. I like that we have level 5 and level 6 spells, no level 4 spells. Completely out. Alright, level 2 spells, let's see. Oh, so these are 2 level 3 spells. Yeah, that's fine. So what do we already have? We already have Dispel Magic, Displacement, Slow, and Vampiric Touch. So what would be useful? Well, if we're going Eldritch, if we're going Eldritch Knight, then Fireball isn't as useful as it would be, because we're not going to get the crit with Fireball. So we really want touch spells if possible. So what's this? You must succeed on a ranged touch attack to strike your target. On a successful hit, you deal 1d6 points of force damage per 2 caster levels. For every 5 cast levels you possess belonging to 5th, you gain an additional ball of force. A creature struck is subject to a bull rush attempt. The force has a strength modifier equal to your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, whichever is highest. The C and B for the force's bull rush uses your caster level as its base attack bonus, and the force's strength modifier, and a +10 bonus for each additional blast that hits. If the bull rush succeeds, the force pushes the creature away from you in a straight line, and it's got more, so I'd go back down here. And the creature must make a reflex save or fall prone. What are our stats? Right, our int is 18. Okay, so that's not bad. So we'd get a +4 bonus on it. Yeah, or a +4 to our strength bonus, effectively. I think this seems really good. This one fits quite well. It's a close range spell, which doesn't bother us because we're a melee character. It's a ranged touch attack, which again is fine. Yeah, I think this one's really good. I think this one passes the test of something we should take. Blink is good, so this is physical attacks have a chance to miss us. So that could be good as a defensive spell. Force Punch. Okay, your successful melee touch attacks deal 1d4 damage of force damage per level, cause the target to be pushed away. Okay, I mean that's fine. That would be really useful potentially once we get Eldritch Knight and we get the surprise criticals. You know, they you get a crit, then you push something away with your Force Punch. I think that could work very nicely. Haste is also just a really good spell. I mean, Haste is incredibly good, so we could take that. There's not really, like, Haste doesn't really fit the build particularly, but Haste was something that currently only Nenio has access to, so if we also had access to Haste, that would just make life easier. Although it does kind of eat into Nenio's usefulness, but that's not really, that just means we need to find more uses for Nenio. Doesn't necessarily mean he shouldn't take it. What else have we got? Ray of Exhaustion. I mean, this is a ranged touch attack, so it would in theory trigger sneak attack damage. Potentially. Anything else in here? Ideally as well, we want things that aren't affected by spell resistance. This one is. I'm just seeing if we have anything else. They're all going to be affected by spell resistance, never mind. That might mean that we want to give them greater spell pen at some point. And spell pen, but we'll worry about that later. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that jumps out at me as something you should have. Frigid Touch. Oh, it's a level 2 spell, but still, that could be pretty good. I'm going to give him haste. It seems sensible. Right. At level 9, he gets the upgrade to Danger Sense, and he gets his feat, where we need to remember to take. I'm going to go down. I know what it is, Martial Weapons Proficiency, just to be sure. Right, then we take these. 2 points here. They're all now max level, so now we can start doing Use Magic Devices, our 5th one, which is nice. There we go. Oh, you can do a search like that? Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Martial Weapons Proficiency. That's the one that we want. And then we get 2 more spells. Oh, okay. Of the same level that we just chose from. I'll take Force Punch. Because it sounds like that'll be useful. And then on top of that, See Invisible Communal is kind of nice, I guess, potentially. Is there anything else that jumps out of him? He has to choose his spells ahead of time, I think, so some of these aren't going to be as useful. I don't know. Heroism? Imbues a single creature with bravery and morale in battle. The target gains a +2 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. That is pretty nice. It is a very nice bonus. Let's see if we got anything. I guess Blink is probably good. So you have 50% chance to miss. So physical attacks against you have a 50% chance to miss, and the Blind Fight feat doesn't help opponents since you're ethereal and not merely invisible. If the attack is capable of striking ethereal creatures, miss chance is only 20%. Any individually targeted spells have 50% chance to fail while you're blinking unless your attacker can target invisible ethereal creatures. If the attacker can see invisible creatures, the miss chance... Oh, sorry, I went off there. Miss chance is also 20%. Although, likewise, your own attacks have a 20% miss chance. While blinking, you take only half damage from area attacks. Although you're only partially visible, you are not considered invisible, and targets retain their dexterity bonus to AC against your attacks. You do receive a +2 bonus on attack rolls made against enemies that cannot see invisible creatures. I mean, this is kind of nice. Us getting 20% miss is a bit that I'm not too sold on. That's the only bit I'm like, I don't know. I don't like giving ourselves mischance. You know, I really don't like it. With second thought on that one. Fireball? It's just so good. I might take I'm going to take heroism. There we go. Fireball, though, I'm just like, we could take fire. It's always there. It's never bad. But we're not going to take it right now. Right. Level 10. Last rank of Eldritch Scoundrel. We should now fulfill all the things we need. Oh, actually, I can see it up here, right? Can't I now? For Eldritch Knight. Yes, we fulfill everything we need. However, we should take an extra point in Eldritch Scoundrel. We would actually get our level 4... Actually, would we even get our level 4 spells either way? Let me have a look. I don't think we would, because... we wouldn't reach second level Eldritch Knight. Yeah, so we wouldn't get our level 4 spells until... for 2 more levels. So we get our level 4 spells right away. We get an advanced talent, and then next level we can switch before we would take finesse training. Sure, let's do that. This now gives us an extra point to spend, as all of these are maxed out, so now we can stick it and use Magic Device as a backup. And then we get level 4 spells, of which we currently have 0. Just in case you were keeping track. Oh wow, there are a lot of level 4 spells to choose from, huh? So we're looking for anything that's like, I'm a range touch attack. This is basically what we're looking for. Anything that's like range touch attack, let's go. Also, I have been told, just because I see Camellia here, and we did actually notice it, Nails does not give her an extra attack, because the only types of natural attacks that would give her an extra attack are things like Bite. Nails would give her an extra attack if she had an empty hand free. However, we're using her with a shield, so it doesn't do that. So, you know, not ideal. Let's see what else we got here. Enlarge person mass. False life greater is okay. Do we really have no range touch attacks in this one? Maybe I've just missed them. This one, I start reading it, and every time I go, nah, it's too much. It's way too much. Shout. Touch of slime. There we go. Whenever you make a successful melee touch attack with the slime, so you create a slime coating on your hand. And if you successfully make a melee touch attack with the slime, it pulls you free of you and sticks to the target. So you... Wait. So, one enemy creature within touch range. So you cast this on an enemy creature. Or do you cast this on yourself and then you attack an enemy creature? It kind of cannot transfer to a creature other than the original target. Okay, so you... Yeah, okay, so it's just flavor text, the first line. And the second line, basically. It's just saying you do a melee touch attack, and then if it hits you, put slime on that deals 1d3 points of con damage per round. Okay. Just took a bit to get there. Not really the kind of thing we want to apply sneak attack to. There's really no like ranged raise type spells or anything here. Is Ray the touch attack? It might be. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything. Okay. Well, I mean, if there's nothing like that at this level, then we should take other things that might be useful. How about Dimension Door? So we could basically grab a bunch of our allies and then just jump us forward. It says you may also bring with you all friendly creatures, which implies that you don't have to. So we could use this as a way of jumping to like an enemy and start stabbing them. That seems good. Like a way of getting into the backline. Anything else? I mean, False Life Greater is actually pretty good. Especially as he's probably a little bit weaker in melee. Yeah, that could be useful. I think I'm going to take False Life Greater. Yeah, sure. See, what about this one? A ranged touch attack. If you hit, the subject gains 1d4 negative levels. Nice. That's kind of cool. That's the one that we want, isn't it? The undead creature hit by the ray gains temporary hit points. That is cool, but I think I want False Life and Dimension Door. Cool. And that is him leveled up from just his base stuff.
Save the poor, helpless tieflings around the world.
Now,
starting with me,
we need to continue leveling him. So we've already given him a mythic ability of Unrelenting Assault. So he gains a stacking bonus on damage rolls as long as he attacks once every turn. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we got from here. So in this one, we're going to give him Weapon Finesse. Let me double check he doesn't already get... we can't double check, but I don't think he'll get that from his Eldritch Knight. So I think that this is the one that we want to give him. So now he gets that on every weapon. Yeah, and this is why we don't want to give him... this is why we don't want to give him level 11 in Rogue. Yes. We could do things like 2-weapon fighting Mythic, which lowers our penalties on attack rolls. Flawless attacks would also be nice on that. Mythic sneak attack. He has a lot of good stuff here. I think Weapon Finesse is the best one for him. So this should... Actually, we can see exactly how much damage this adds. So this should add a +7 to those two numbers, but nothing to those numbers, I think. Let's see. You know what we could also do? Just to save us having to respec. If I quick save. Now let's do it. Right. Did it work? Yes, so that is 12 to 22 on his first weapon, which is very nice. Also means that potentially we can switch his second weapon out now as well. So if I was to have a look at this, this should now deal more damage, although it doesn't have the crit multiplier, which I guess is something that's quite nice to have. Not something I often look at though. We could give him that short sword there. Is there anything else? Does he get any other abilities for, or anything else for using a dagger? I just want to double check. I don't think he does. I think it's literally just finesse training. Yeah, I think it's just finesse training. That's fine. That's just saying that there's proficiencies there, trap finding, weapon finesse. Yeah, I don't think he gets any. I don't think he gets any other benefit from using it. Yeah, from using anything else. Like from using a dagger over anything else. Yeah, so there's no reason to stick him with a dagger right now. That's fine. So we can switch to something better. Let's give him the short sword, which has now increased his damage. We'll probably be able to find him better stuff eventually as well. I'm just seeing what other options are. Yeah, we don't have anything with us right now, but we could find him better stuff. I did the rest of the equipping as well off camera. He gets a +1 to all trickery checks from this. Just thinking, do we have anything else? No, we left it on Camellia. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's continue leveling up his Mythic. So quick save just before we do it. And level up his Mythic. So, at this level, what do we want him to have? Well, this one's interesting. If we gave him enduring spells, he could immediately cast heroism on multiple people, which is intriguing. When you're targeted by an enemy spell, you gain the ability to teleport to the spellcaster. This sounds like it wouldn't work as well as I'd like it to. If I'm honest, it sounds good, but I don't think the in-game representation of this would work. What else have we got? Abundant casting is probably really nice for him once we get spell critical, but that's like a long way off right now. You don't automatically miss on a 1. It's kind of good, I guess. Although if you rolled a 1, you're probably going to miss if they have reasonable AC. We could give him, all the way down here, Thundering Blows. So when we miss, he does sonic damage, which is nice. We could give him something like, whenever 3 times per day, you will automatically remove dazed, sickened, frightened, staggered, nauseated, stunned, paralyzed, confused. Just make it so that he's very difficult to kind of hold down. I think that actually sounds like an interesting idea. Just make him very, very mobile, and make it so he's very slippery. Yeah, I think that could work. Yeah. Same logic on Unstoppable there, actually. Yeah, Last Stand is, again, probably pretty good. It's one that we took on Reg, I think, and it's same logic in that you do a ton of damage as a melee character. Therefore, if you can survive another 2 rounds, you might just be able to win a fight that way. Whenever you make an attack of opportunity, you gain a bonus. He does have outflank, so that could be nice as well. And the number of attacks of opportunity you can make each round is increased by 2. Yeah. That's nice. I think I'm going to take Rupture Restraints, because I want him to be difficult to remove from combat. There we go. You're unable to hit him with mind-affecting effects that easily. You're unable to get rid of his dex. It's just going to make him difficult. And difficult is good. See if he has anything else that we want to, like, maybe move along. No, I think he's fine. He does have this bow, which is kind of a little bit weird right now. But I'm not sure what we want to do with that. I guess we just leave him with the bow. Right, spellbook. Let's see. So, what don't we need? I've never used Touch of Graceless in this. We'll get rid of that. Grease is good. Give him a couple of greases. Then, you don't really want melee touch attacks because he should be attacking with his daggers until we get something like that spell critical, which lets him quicken it. I guess maybe Meta Magic Quicken might be useful for him at some point so that he can actually use these, like, during his turn. So, you know, do a swift action, Shocking Grasp or something, and then, yeah, like, do one of those, which he should be able to do at some point, even though I think Quicken is a +4, so it'd be use like a 5th level slot. We do Shocking Grasp and Stab. I mean, that could be good. Magic Missile isn't a touch, is it? No. Looking at this one, I actually probably just want to give him Snowball. Just a lot of snowballs. Yeah. Mage Armor, I think, is actually good for him because he doesn't use armor. So that kind of works. I don't think we need Stone Call. I think we need more things that hit on that sneak attack. So let's go Scorching Ray. Could give him invisibility for a bonus on stealth checks if we need it, I suppose. Yeah, we could do. Blur as well is pretty nice, actually. Just the ability to not be hit by things. Be nice. Let's give him blur, just for just now. Here we have displacement, which is a better version of blur. Never mind, let's give him the invisibility one. Level 3. Vampiric touch sounds like it could be useful. I don't know whether we're actually ever going to end up using it. I'm going to take it off for another haste. Just because I want it to look nice, I'm going to do it like this. There we go. Level 4 spells, Dimension Door, False Greater Life. Cool, and then we can't actually use these because they're beyond our level. Nice. Okay, he's all set up. Let's have a look at his spells. So we got a bunch of new ones here. Dimension Door, we'll just leave there. Invisibility, we'll move over here. Haste, I can also move over here into like what appears to be our buff section. Also we got Greater Life. That's kind of in the same kind of vein. I might do this because that's like an AoE buff and this is like a single target buff. Then that can join this group of things, as well as being moved up here for just now until we run out of space. That's fine. Right, I'm going to quick save. We've done a lot of leveling up. It is time to rest so that we can get these new spells. And then it's time to head out. So, let's rest. Also, I think I removed fatigue at the start of this one, so resting makes a lot of sense. Because I suspect we'll get it back at some point. We could also, because he's back, we could make his bonus as well. Yeah, sure, it's a 100% success chance. It's actually 100% without Sealer. Yeah, is there anything that I could... Who can scroll scribe? Does anybody... It'd be nice if this showed you the people who have the ability. I do have the scroll scriber's kit, but you don't have the ability. You do. So I could put Darren on that if somebody else can do alchemy. We could do alchemy. Which would mean that somebody else could do this. Like Soasil. And Rue. And then protective rituals is Sealer. We're probably going to fail the protective rituals either way. Maybe. Oh no, let me see what he can make and then we'll see whether we want to do this. Can't really make anything that's that exciting, huh? Yeah, we probably want something of a higher level, so we need to go and get new scroll scriber kits, that's fine. Put it back the way it was. Right, we'll put Soasil in here. We'll have Sealer back him up, so we got a higher chance of success. Night's Watch is going to be us with our plus 36. Yeah, this seems more sensible, because now we would need a 4 for that one to pass. And that'll stop the corruption going up. Right, begin our rest.
Sealer, my dear, won't you tell me again how sinful and morally bankrupt my lifestyle is, and how I must see the error of my ways? Your lectures always send me straight to sleep.
Yeah, right. Today your path to repentance is silent prayer and self-reflection.
Alright. Hey, we passed. Nice. Let's do a little bit of
Rules are made
buffing.
to be broken.
So, one of those, followed by all of these. Yep, it's a lot of buffs, but it has to be done. One here. I mean, it doesn't have to be done, but it does make life a lot easier if it is done. Right, horse. Bull strength. We're running out of people who we actually need to cast Bull Strength on, I just realised. Because I don't even think Sealer, it makes any difference whether we cast her or not. Yeah, because she already has a belt that does it right now. You can have this. You can have this. You can have it as well. And one for you. And one for our horse. Nice. Are we done in terms of your buffs? No, we need like one. You have one more buff, don't you? Oh, actually, you have these as well. Never mind. We're not even close. I just realized. I don't think I can cast this on Woljif because he doesn't have armor. Yeah, he doesn't have armor, so I shouldn't be. Yeah, magical vestment isn't going to do anything, is it? Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Wait, who do I already have this on? You, You. Buff. Means I can probably spread it out to more people. Yeah, means that these two get it as well. There we go. That's nice. Right, what else do we need? Don't think anything else is needed from you. Soasil. Angelica aspect.
Too bad no one can see it there.
Bear's endurance. Also move this one over here. More of that. the who got me good there. I like it. Let's do some protection from fire. Randomly select one. Spell resistance on Seela. Fire belly. One of those. We have another magical vestment that we actually can't use right now. Death wards. Seela. There we go. You can have one as well. You can have one as well. And then you can have one. Then delay poison communal. Although I believe delay poison and life bubble are basically just doing the same thing. In fact, did delay poison remove life bubble? I think it did. I think delay poison actually removes life bubble. Yeah, okay, so if delay poison removes life bubble, then we should probably just not take one of them. So this one, delay poison. I think I want to get rid of delay poison looking at these. So delay poison, any poison or any poison in the system that is not exposed during the spell's duration does not affect the subject until spell's duration has expired. This one says it protects against diseases as well, though. I don't know. This might already protect against it. Yeah, they seem to overlap in a way, but given one removes the other, we should get rid of one of these. If I get rid of Life Bubble, what am I going to take? I could take Raise Dead. That's probably pretty good. Yeah, I could also do Disrupting Weapon. So, any undead creature would take a negative against it, maybe? Cleanse. Cures and ends any negative effect like ability damage, blinded, confused, dazzled, diseased, exhausted, fatigued, nauseated, poisoned, and sickened. Yeah, sure, take that instead. That seems fine, and then we move that one down here. Cool. Right. Are you fully buffed up? Oh, I don't need that there as well. Are you fully buffed up? I think you are. Oh no, Arkansas. There we go. Now you're fully buffed up. Right. Also, maybe don't even need to take Bless on him because we already have Bless, although I guess it's useful if we come across a Vrook to be able to remove its negative. Right. I believe we are now just about ready to head out and to start this episode. 43 minutes in. Okay, that's fine. Let's head over here. And this is the way out. Here's where the next area is more than a day's walk away and we can't actually go there. Like with our buffs on. So all of the buffing was pointless. Let's see, where is it? There we go, Ashen Grotto, that'll be it, right? Whoever resides here must only interrupt their gruesome feats to go hunting. Oh no, there's the Scrubland Bend by the river. Oh my lord. Woljif, you said it was like a day's walk away. It's actually like a whole journey away. We have to get to this fort and then head north. This is so far away, Woljif. I might as well just go to Green Gates, because the other one is ridiculous. Okay. We'll deal with that after then. I think this is the right one. There's someone on the road. Okay. Oh, hello, dragon. What funny little faces you have when you're afraid. How deliciously pathetic you all are. Okay. We do not get a surprise round, but we could hit it. Let me just see. Immunity to fire. Damage reduction except for magic. Okay, let's hit it with this. You had to roll a 2 to hit. Maybe I should have given you the one that was like, when you roll a 1 you can't miss, because apparently you need it, Woljif. Maybe you're feeling, you know, a little out of practice. We'll go with that, shall we? Arushale. Let's head over here and shoot it.
I will resist.
I'm just having a look here. It's armor class 40 we're hitting against, to be fair. Okay. With a modifier of 19, she did have to roll a 20 to hit. Okay, I forgive her a little bit. Right. Do that and move forward. Okay, Darren. You want to head this way. And then for us, let's go like, I don't know, armor class protection. And then energy resistance. I suppose I'll activate this anyway. So we give us good aligned weapons, which doesn't really matter, but you know, we'll take it. Move along here. And then, I don't know if we got anything we can cast that's going to be like immediately useful. We could cast this one, which will let us move faster. My logic for this one is then we can actually reach the dragon next turn. Sure. Now we can move quicker. Use Feel Presence and try to hit us with a breath weapon. However, 0 damage thanks to the fact that we resisted fire. Nice. So that would have been 114 fire damage had we not had the protection against fire on. Wow. Okay, well, luckily we had it on. Horse missed, that's fine. Can you hit here? Probably not. Let's see if we got anything else. We give ourselves a bit of luck, which would basically give us, anytime we roll a d20, we roll twice. Yeah, that seems good. It's a swift action though, so we don't necessarily need to do anything with it right away. We could move up here, use True Strike, and then a bit of luck next turn. Move up here and use Burst of Glory. Yeah, let's move up here and use Burst of Glory. Well, that's only a 10-foot burst, actually. Maybe I will use True Strike. Or Protection Against Evil. Yeah, let's do Protection Against Evil Communal. It'll hit everyone bar Woljif, which is fine. Right, Woljif. He does have Resist Fire as a thing that we could cast. We already have it on, however. I should have cast this as well, I guess, at some point, but let's not worry about it. I guess I should just cast this when we do our buff rotation, because it is hour per level, so 10-hour buff is pretty good. Same with this one, to be honest. A 10-hour buff is pretty good. Yeah, let's wander around so we're not in the same direction as everyone else and then stab it in the back. Sure. This might just lead to a dead Woljif. You know what? Instead, let's cast... I'm trying to find somebody who's in a better spot, actually. I've kind of messed things up with my movement here. Let's move in slightly to here. Then cast Haste. Yeah. Cool. So now everybody gets extra attacks. I probably should have done that in turn 1. I could designate this target as my favorite enemy as well, I suppose. Which would mean that we'd get a bonus as if it was our favorite enemy. Let's do that, yeah. You're my favorite enemy now. And now I'm attacking you 4 times. 18 to hit. Missed due to concealment, and the only one that might have hit, I guess. Can't charge, but we could smite it and then attack. Missed again. Darren. We could summon. Sure. Let's summon over over here. There we go. And then kind of move in a little bit in case I need to heal. Nice. Okay, they're doing some sort of buffing. Just doing holy aura buffing. I don't really know what that does, if I'm honest with you. Can I see here? Because it did seem like it did something to you. Holy aura. Each warded creature gains in the bonus. Wait, are you a warded creature now? You might be a warded creature now? Wait. It says granting resistance to spells cast by evil creatures and cause them to strike evil creatures to become blinded when they strike subjects. Wait, and causing evil creatures to become blinded when they strike subjects. I think this is saying that we get this. I'm not sure whether this is applied a buff to the enemy or not. That's what I'm not sure. Oh, no, you have now buffed the enemy. I see. Okay, no, I was right in the first one. Well, it's good to know that you'll buff the enemy if I cast you too close. Good to know. Basically, there's not a lot. I could attack this guy. That's fine. I could also just summon this turn. Let's move in. And then summon another one. Did we also get the buff, by the way, for Holy Aura? We did. Okay, so it might not necessarily... Ow. Okay. Happy I didn't go in melee range. But yeah, it might not necessarily be a buff to it. I'm not sure. It seems a little weird. Concealment, concealment. That means that 3 times out of 4 we would have hit. Why won't you just accept your fate and become my dinner? I'll eat you all soon enough. Oh, and it pieced out. No, I think we're done. Wait. Why are we hostile to this? Okay, I don't know why we're hostile to this, but, stab it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why we're hostile to you. I really wish I knew. Shoot it. I just realized that you might have caused yourself to become blinded there. Given that, yeah, it might have caused him to become blinded, given that he is an evil creature. Interesting. No, I didn't want to hit any of your arrows anyway. Yeah, no.
Begone, fiend!
Really? We didn't hit again. And again.
Cover me, all right?
4 attacks. You only had to roll a 5 of 6. All right, we actually hit the enemy once.
Forwards.
Nice. None of the attacks of opportunity hit, by the way. This guy's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, I messed up. Time to get out of here. Okay. We gained experience for killing our own summon. Okay. That doesn't seem like something that should be allowed. That seems like something that... That seems like there would be bad consequences from allowing people to know that. Let's do Cure Critical Wounds. Heal. Right. Well, we still can't really do anything about the dragon because that's Greyboar's thing, and Greyboar isn't with us. Right. What's our plan here? Yes, I knew what I was doing in my head. You might as well apply this to yourself, now I remembered. And do this. Yeah, so mage armor, what doesn't it stack with? Does it stack with your bracers of armor or shield of faith? What's the highest buff on us right now? Mage armor. And shield... No, it does stack with shield of faith. Okay. Let's not worry about it. That totally stacks with shield of faith, as it should. Oh, does it also give you a deflection bonus, maybe? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't stacking. That's fine. Anything else here? Or is just a safe area? Just an area for the fight to occur in. Okay. Well, let's leave. This wasn't where I wanted to go in the first place, if I'm honest with you. I wanted to go to the other place. Yeah. Oh, no, this is taking us to Green Gates, at least. Looming over the surrounding landscape, this cliff is a natural fortification. A Sarkorian fortress once stood here. Sarkorian fortress once stood here, and the Crusaders built a fort on its ruins. Sadly, the human-built edifices were also turned into ruins. For many a year, the place has been ravaged by demons. Also, just want to check our Crusade map mode here for a second. 1 day on military tactician, 1 day on teleportation circle. Yeah, so they will finish at the same time. Wait, that was military tribunal. Never mind, I read the wrong thing. Journey will take some time. Okay, I'll click the button then. Do you wish to enter this location? I wish to quick save and enter this location. Yes. It wasn't what I asked, but it's what I decided to do. Hey, 2 of these done. Go here. Double experience. Love it. This place is messed up. Doesn't look like we can... Based on the fact that it wouldn't let me move the camera left and right there very easily, I'm guessing that, yeah, there probably isn't very much to our left and right. We are here. The hag should be around here somewhere. She catches your eye and a blush unexpectedly blooms on her cheeks. Quietly, in a near whisper, she adds, "Thank you for bringing me with you. This is very important. This is important to me. Very important. Beware, you are dealing with a creature that is very old, very devious, and very dangerous. She may not be a demon, but she can move like one. If you hesitate, she will slip from your grasp before you know it. Fortunately, there is a relic of Desna in this very fortress, the Bell of Mercy. It will help you catch the hag, like a cat in a mouse trap. No, wait, you don't say that, do you? Like a mouse in a cat trap? Never mind. What matters is that you must catch her." Hey, doesn't this sound like we're getting mixed up in something that's really got nothing to do with us? There are some ruins and some bell and some hideous beast, maybe more than one, and we could die over this, over nothing, and then what are people going to say about me once I'm dead, eh? Woljif the idiot who tried to swipe their rusty old bell? Nah, that's just shameful. Well, what if I was to tell you that I once read a dusty old tome that said there was treasure somewhere in these ruins, that the army's coffers were left behind when the Crusaders beat their retreat from here. Untold riches, half a year's salary for thousands of warriors. Let's say that I knew where to find this hoard. What do you think? Would it be worth your while venturing into these ruins for a cut of, say, 25% of the loot? I like how Darren is basically managing the evil side of our party here for us. He's like, you know what? I'm on the Crusade side now. I really don't like demons. So, I'm going to organize everybody else to achieve my aims. So he is working for the Crusade, but for himself. I like it. Oh, what's that now? I think I heard 25, but I'm sure what you meant to say was 40. If that's the case, then I'm in. Woljif's eyes are gleaming greedily. So how much gold do you reckon is in there, roughly? How should I know? It was a hypothetical question. Why on earth would an army abandon their coffers full of gold here? I'd wager that the most we, the daring treasure hunters, can expect is a handful of coins from a soldier's hidden stash. But 30% of those coins are yours. I am a man of my word, after all. What can you tell me about this hag? Did you know that there are different kinds of hags? Jarunika is one of the more terrifying types, an Anis hag. Their flesh-eater possesses frightening, magic evil powers. She is not a demon, but she is far more cunning than many inhabitants of the Abyss. Don't listen to her rigmarole, and don't believe her evasions. Just grab her, put a knife to her throat, and demand straight answers. And don't forget, like demons, she can travel huge distances using magic, but the sound of the bell will stop her from slipping away. How will this bell help us? It is an ancient relic of Desna. The Crusaders brought it here when there was still hope that Sarkoris could be retaken easily. Then the Worldwound expanded and the Crusaders were forced to retreat, leaving the bell behind. The demons tried to corrupt it or destroy it, but they couldn't. The bell burned them when they touched it. They managed to rip the bell's clapper from it, but they didn't take it far. Look for it. It should be around here somewhere. Desna imbued the bell with powerful protective magic. If you strike it, all demons in their ilk inside the fortress will be unable to move. If the hag cannot move, she will not be able to evade you. If there really is a holy relic here, we are honor bound to return it. It is not a question of military strategy, it is a question of faith. How did you know the hag would be here? We know each other of old. Actually, that's not quite true. We have never met in person, but I've been tracking her for quite some time. She shows up here and there, but every time I try to pin her down, she vanishes. I hope this time she won't slip away so easily. Perception check. Areelu seems agitated and you detect a tremor in her voice. It seems hunting this hag means an awful lot to her, but you have a sneaking suspicion that the succubus has not told you the full story. I understand, let's do it. May Desna aid us. I like her, it's like, we have a sneaking suspicion she might not be telling us this true story. However, we're not going to press the matter. Anyway, with that, I think we're going to end the episode here, and next time is the search for the hag. I'll see you then. Goodbye.